You're now tuned into Art in the Game, the Springfield Gaming and Entertainment Podcast. On this episode, we'll talk about Massachusetts casinos getting ready to open back up. Phase 3 starts June 29th. I'm your host, Chris Demaro. Sit back and relax. Let's get into the game. Welcome back, friends and players. I'm so happy to be together again another week and another chance for a little you and I time. I'm so happy to finally be back behind the microphone, in front of the camera, and really back in you guys, back with all of you. I know it's been a couple of weeks, and just like I had said on my last release, these podcasts are becoming a bit difficult to produce with all the stuff we've got going on here at home. Are you guys as busy? Are you guys as busy as I have been in the past couple of weeks? Geez, staying at home, you figured you would have all this time to do all these different things. But I, as many of you know, I have a young daughter who's 8 years old, and she's been home since the 13th of March, and I work from home being a creative individual, and that combination is real difficult. I don't know if any of you have been experiencing some of this work from home, homeschooling doldrums that are happening, but man, I cannot wait until the end of June. I think it's like June 19th, June 20th, all of our children get let out of school here in the town that we're working with, and all of the online learning can stop. And I gotta tell you, hats off to the teachers. My daughter really gives us a hard time to do her assignments. And then of course, I'm complaining. I don't do a damn thing. My wife does a ton of this stuff. She downloads all the stuff, she prints it all out, then she uploads everything and then sends it off to her teachers. There's a variety of different teachers, believe it or not. So, hats off to all the teachers and all the stay-at-home moms and dads, work-from-home moms and dads who are out there doing this for their family. This has been a new adventure for us, right? It's like a new journey. And honestly, I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I have a significant other. I have a spouse. I have a beautiful wife. As a matter of fact, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but today is my anniversary. 18 years, baby, June 1st. So it's kind of exciting, and I just want to do a little shout out to my wife for taking care of all of this stuff with my daughter. I can only imagine if I was a single dad working from home, homeschooling, keeping the house sane, keeping it clean, keeping it fed, keeping food in the cabinets in the refrigerator. So really special just art in the game. Shout of respect to all of my single parents out there, especially single parents who have survived or are currently surviving ages 7 through 10. So anyway, enough about parenthood. Hey, this is, this show, talk about a lot of stuff, right? And we talk about living well and kind of having an equal balance in your life. And for me, my family is balance, right? I mean, that's what's important here. Podcasts, casinos, gambling. It's all, entertainment. My family, that's what comes first, right? And it comes first for all of you guys. And that's one of the reasons that I think why we get along so well, because we respect our families, but you know what? We value the time that we spend recharging our own batteries, right? And one of the things that I do to recharge my batteries is I like to go to the casino. I like to be whisked away from it all. I want to have, VIP experiences. I want to live a life that's maybe even a little more elevated than, that I probably could elsewise. And it's because of, how I know how to work a casino loyalty program, how I treat people on the casino floor, and, just how to have a good time while you're at the casino in any part of the country. So that's what the show's all about. And for those of you who are joining me on YouTube for the very first time, hey, thanks for joining Art in the Game. If you're not too busy and you're on Facebook, we've got a private community. We absolutely have a ball every single day exchanging information about our favorite casino, MGM Springfield, and all of the casinos around North America, especially the ones inside of the MGM portfolio. So come on over to Art in the Game. That you can find that on Facebook as well. So one of the things that happened this week, I got two big communications, one that you all got, and then one that maybe I was one of the only few that received it. So the first one that we'll talk about, I actually have it on my email. I pulled it up here. We received some information about all of our statuses. And I was kind of excited because when I read originally, they had extended our statuses that you've already earned in 2020. Now they've extended it even further. So, I just pulled up the email here from Mr. Hornbuckle. We'll meet him one day. And what they said is they're thanking us all for all of our loyalty and all of that good stuff. But here's the real juice of it. They're extending status and benefits through January 1st, 2022. So that's exciting. So like I know for myself, I'm an elevated player both at Caesars and at, well, we're not talking about Caesars, at MGM and at Caesars, but at MGM I have a pretty good status. Worked hard to obtain that status in 2020, and now I'm kind of excited to know that I'm good. Like I'm platinum until 2022, so that sounds fantastic. And all my friends who came with us on Thanks Gambling, all of our Art in the Game members were automatically upgraded to Pearl back in November if you were still Sapphire. So anybody who just earned that Pearl, even at Thanks Gambling, guess what, guys? You're Pearl for the next year and a half. And similarly to all my friends who got bumped from Pearl to Gold and from Gold to Platinum, and even the few Noir players that we have in the group, your statuses are set now until the end of January 2022. So that's kind of exciting. There was a little bit of confusion I saw in the closed group. There were a few comments coming across, and it was all about the earning time. So it did say this. I'll read it right to you. Extending statuses and benefits to January 31st, 2022 to allow more time to enjoy your tier status and benefits you earn from October 1, 2019 to December 31st, 2020, whether Noir, Platinum, Gold, or Pearl. So what does that exactly mean? Does that mean you could lose your status? So basically, this is how I'm reading it. If whatever you have in your wallet, whatever you have today in your pocket, that's your status until the end of January 22. During next year, you're going to be still evaluated during that time, and it will see where you land in 2022 if you're going to be still the same status that you have during this time. Will you be bumped down? Will you be bumped up? That's what all of that has to do with. Now, there's some other interesting things that kind of go along with this extended benefit. They've suspended point and express comp expirations through September 30th, 2020. So that's great. You know, express comps are usually specific to a property. I have express comps at MGM Springfield. I don't want to see them go away, so they're going to keep them there. And the same thing with points. Now, the good thing about points is those of you who have the Mlife card, the Mlife credit card like I do, your points don't expire. And as long as you visit a casino every 6 months, those points stay active. So they're not going to let those points go away based on this inactivity because of their closing. And then the third bullet point that's in the email that I think makes me happy is they're giving you an extra 3 months in 2020 to earn. So tier status benefits change the way, how do they say this? The tier status benefits by changing the way earning year to year. So now their earning year is going to go from January 1st to December 31st each year. And if you remember previously, their clock reset at the end of September, which is the reason I really like Thanks Gambling in November, because it kind of gave everybody a jump start onto that tier. And don't forget, each level tier that you go up in the MLife program, any of these casino loyalty programs, your multiplier goes up as well. So, you know, when you're a lonely Sapphire member, you're only earning at your, 1 times, you're getting basically dollar in for dollar out. But when you get elevated to that Pearl level, you get 2 times earning. And then similarly, when you get to Gold, there's 3 times earning and all the way up. So that's something that makes a big difference, right? And now they're giving you 3 more months inside of this kind of calendar year to earn those statuses. So I think that's kind of interesting and something that people are going to like. You're getting 3 more extra months. So instead of 12 months, you got 15 months out of the deal. So they also, one of the things they did do, and I'm sure you guys saw this, but they've lowered some of their requirements. In addition, we've temporarily, and they made a big point, it's temporary, they're reducing the number of tier credits required to achieve Pearl, Gold, Platinum statuses from now until December 31st, 2020. So not only are you getting a little bit extra time, but they're actually lowering, the threshold. So it used to be 25,000 tier to be able to get from that Sapphire Blue card to that pretty Pearl card. Now they're bringing it down to only 20,000. Gold tier is now 60,000 obtainable, opposed to 75,000. That's a big jump right there. And Platinum, you no longer have to achieve the 200,000 tier credits to achieve that Platinum card. You can do it at 160,000 tier. So those reductions in combination with the extended amount of time that you have to earn these levels, I think is going to make it really nice for the next time this comes around. Now, it is noted that the earning rate for all of that tier is going to go back to normal as of January 1st, 2021. So, hey, if you want, go ahead and check the facts on the MLife website. I see if I can put up some of this information in the show notes. All of this stuff is being put together by the MLife, MLife program to keep us players happy and engaged with the MGM brand during this reopening of casinos really across the country. I mean, this isn't just specifically to Springfield, gang. This is for everywhere in North America. Something else that I didn't mention is that once they get through this first year, it looks like your award year, like the benefit starts like February 1st all the way to January 31st. So if I'm reading this right, you kind of squeeze an extra month out of that even into the program. So I like the new MLife, the tack that they're taking here with the MLife Rewards program. I think it's very player-centric. Quite frankly, some of their competition has been doing something very similar to this. I like that. It's time to kind of get some of these reward programs back in gear and quite frankly make some of these statuses obtainable through actually gambling. And I think a lot of the frustration with some of these programs is it takes a lot of coin in. And if you're not, having a lucky day or a lucky week or a lucky year, and your bankroll's getting beat, and you just don't get those wins to kind of coin circulate back in, and kind of raise that average daily theoretical loss that the casino looks at. If you don't have that luck, you don't have that big bankroll, then these statuses are difficult to obtain. And a lot of these match programs that you've been hearing about, and I don't talk a lot about match programs on my show, and it's because it's not, I'm not a travel podcaster, right? Like I don't want to be like I don't represent myself as a rewards or miles expert, because I'm not. But I'm an avid user of rewards and miles. I've been an avid American Airlines member for 30 years, and I've had credit cards, and truth be told, I've flown around the world for free. I've been to the Caribbean, I don't want to say a zillion times, but definitely more than I can count on my hands and then pay for a time. And I've been to Europe for free a couple of times. It's all through leveraging my everyday spend to get something back for me and my family. So I'm not like completely new to this, but it's not something that I claim to be an expert on. I know people love to be an expert in the travel business. No, it's not. I'm not. I'm a fan, right? And I like to have fun with my family. And when I get good information, I share it with you guys. So one of the things I've never really dove into sharing a ton about is these match programs where you can match into these casino loyalty programs. So for instance, we talked a couple of episodes ago, we had Robin on from Anytime Gambling. We talked all about the awesome program that MLife members get to participate in with the Hyatt hotel chain. And that's something we're going to dive more into. Actually, I wrote a letter to the folks over at MGM trying to get some of their MLife people on to really dig into that program to see how we can really take the most out of it, make the most out of it. But what's really important is me forgetting what I'm saying in the middle of what I'm talking about. No, but what's really important with this MLife program is that there are ways to get in without gambling. And those ways are closing, or frankly, they're closed, right? So one of the easiest ways here, I'll just bring this up. The window's closed now. I have friends who had American Express Gold. If American Express Gold can match into, I believe it was a Hilton Gold, then the Hilton Gold could match into the Wyndham Diamond program. Then the Wyndham Diamond program could be matched into Caesars Diamond program. And then the Caesars Diamond could be matched into the MGM Gold card. How about that? It was that four hoops of fire that you had to jump through on the internet to get through. All forms, all things you had to fill out. Sorry, that window closed. Wyndham and Caesars have stopped playing together since the COVID crisis. So I would expect to see a lot of these partnerships change, and there are other ways to kind of link into these cards, but we're going to really try to focus on how we can achieve these statuses through gaming and non-gaming spend, both on and off property. That's something we're going to hopefully talk about, and I think you're excited, as I am, to see that our statuses, I mean, hey, we're good. I enjoy the Platinum Lounge when it's open. I love my Catcher on the Rye drink over at the lobby bar after 3. So, hey, this is all fine by me. Keep our statuses happy. Keep my free drinks coming, and keep my earn rate at a higher rate so I can continue to earn the comps and the express comps that I like to have. So anyway, hey, good on you, MLife. I like this idea. A little sip of water too. So, all right, what else has been going on? Hey, how have you guys been? I didn't really check in with you guys yet. besides me complaining about everything going on with my daughter and having fun trying to get like work done and everything. I haven't been working out. It's been bad. I'm feeling a little tight in my best boat clothes here, but I am going to be getting back to it. This has definitely been a challenge for me. Just this whole break is just thrown all of our schedules way off. But I hope to be back to it soon. My wife hasn't stopped. She's doing a terrific job, and she's an inspiration to me. I got to get out there and start at least put in a walk or something. You know, I gotta take some of my own friggin' medicine, guys, and get myself back into getting my heart rate up, doing some push-ups. I'm making my commitment to you. I'm going to do it by the next time we're together. I'm going to be able to report back something that I gave my couch a freaking rest and got up off my ass and did something. So anyway, speaking about doing something, the MGM Resorts International has been working around the clock, it seems like, putting together their 7-point safety plan. I actually, I saw that article. I shared it on my LinkedIn. I believe it was it Bo? There was a Gold Strike was going to be the first property in the MGM portfolio that was going to be open, and they had a whole, here's what we're doing. Take a look. And I actually shared it, and I said, geez, I wonder if these are the type of changes we're going to see here at MGM Springfield. And I took a read of the article, of course. So I reached out to some folks out in Nevada, and I requested an interview with Mr. Flynn. I said, look, I'd love to talk to Mr. Flynn. He's number 2 in command over at MGM. Let's get him in talking about everything that we're going to see implemented here in Springfield. Hey, great news. They got back to me. They were excited to talk to me, and they are going to reconnect once their plans are a little bit more solid here in Springfield. So I was pretty happy about that. What she did do is she shared, but in the meantime, here, let me share our 7.19-page safety plan with you. Maybe that's something that you can share with your listening audience. And then we're going to work on getting Mr. Flynn on the show. So there's a little exclusive leak for my AITG friends. I really want to get him on. I miss just if you work for MGM Springfield, whether you cleaned up in the lounge, whether you were the director of hospitality, whether you served me drinks at the bar, brought me chips, I don't care what it is. I miss seeing you guys. I miss all of my friends over at MGM, and I miss seeing the other players, all of us in the Northeast gambling community who love to have fun together. So, we're all missing this experience, and I think we're missing it on a variety of levels, right? Because we're used to not being told we can't go places. That's a new experience for us inside of this new reality here in the United States, is that we no longer have complete freedom, because we're managing our health and our risks to health at the exact same time. So as casinos begin to open here in the Northeast, I think it's going to take some time for us all to get used to just the idea of being around people. I'm going to share something that I haven't shared with my wife. I have nightmares about being in groups of people. I have nightmares about being at the movies and having someone throw their jacket on my face. And then have me get so upset and try to explain why I'm so upset without physically harming the person in my dream, because I know violence is weak. I'm not trying to be a violent person, and even in my dreams I do a good job at it. But I'm still scared, I guess, and affected by this worldwide pandemic. And if you are scared and affected, you're not alone. We all are. Doesn't mean we're going to stop living life, though. We're just going to figure out a safe way to do it alternatively until we can get back to the way we know life can and will be again here in the United States, North America, and planet Earth. So really quick, Foxwoods just opened up the other day, and so did Mohegan Sun. Our buddy Carol Ann is down there, the Slot Whisperer. She was posting up stuff on the closed group today, already hitting, like $500 in jackpots already off of free play. And just so you know, they're giving away free play down there. It looks like they're giving an awful amount. I mean, my big players, I've been hearing the amounts they're receiving daily, and let me just say that they're substantial amounts. So, hey, if you get that free play, run down there and play it. Just be safe when you do. Carolyn, I can't wait to see some photos and some videos of you down there. I hope you're being, you're having fun and you're being safe. From what she said, every single machine that was on had a player on it. And this is a Monday, so let's see how this all comes together. What's happening here in Massachusetts? Well, I released a video yesterday out on YouTube just talking quickly about, I've been getting a ton of direct messages. You guys are great. You always send me messages, ask me what's going on in Springfield. When are we going to see the casino open? And Chris, we know you're talking to the guys or the gang over there. And the reality of it is, Governor Baker released his 3-phase plan. We're just about to be in phase 2, where restaurants can have a limited opening. Some retail businesses can begin to have a limited opening. Phase 3 does not happen before June 29th. So we're really looking at sometime, I think it's July. Ooh, we got the Lion here. Let's find out. Yeah, the Lion hopefully is going to be back in July. A lot of people have been going back and forth. I would say a July 4th, that, maybe we could have a star-spangled welcome back to gaming here in Massachusetts. We are going to see how this happens and plays out. The governor's going to make sure that it's number and fact-based, and hopefully we get back to it. So in the meantime, what is MGM doing? What are they doing to prepare all of us and their properties and their staff for the reemergence of the casinos? And I got to tell you, I've read this a few times, and there's a lot of information in here. They are digging in, you guys. One of the things that, I wanted to know, who are we talking to here? So after diligently working with a team of senior ophthalmologists, scientists, biosafety personnel, certified occupational health and safety professionals in accordance and guidance and directives from the World Health Organization, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, governor and health departments in the states where they operate, we have outlined the 7-point safety plan. So obviously I just read that right from the email. They have lead safety advisors, many doctors on their team. They're from all gamut of levels here. So what we're trying to let you guys in on is what this 7-point safety plan, I'm stumbling over, 7-point safety plan is all about. So over the last 2 months, they've been just digging in, trying to understand how they can really positively affect this experience and keep us medically safe at the same time. So let's talk a little bit about it. Their very first step 1, is screening, temperature checks, and employee training. They are going to implement employee screening measures to, the minute there's any signs of symptoms, to be able to mitigate that individual, to be able to contain them, contain who it is that they came in contact with, and kind of limit that area of exposure. I'm going to kind of paraphrase here for everything that they're doing. They're digging in for anyone who develops symptoms during their stay, and having an actual medical personnel on staff and protocols in place to assist if you're there and all of a sudden you don't feel so good, and then all of a sudden you find out you really are coming up with some symptoms of COVID-19. They are going to be putting out all kinds of hand washing stations. You probably could have imagined that. Everywhere possible, tons of hand washing stations. And they're also going to be handing out PPE to people. So there will be masks available. And it sounds like you're going to be wearing a mask on the casino floor. If everything comes that's in this, you will be required to wear a mask on the floor. So, that's something that we're going to have to get used to, I guess. So the second, number 2, mandatory masks for personnel and protective equipment, PPE. Employees will be provided and required to wear an approved mask when on the floor on any of our properties. MGM Resorts will strongly encourage our guests to wear masks in public areas, and we will offer masks to any guests who need them free of charge. Guests may be required to wear a mask when appropriate. Physical distancing and barriers cannot be obtained. Gloves will continue to be worn by employees who require them to do their jobs, such as food handlers and employees who clean public areas. Pardon me. So, one of the things we all want to know about is drink service, right? Because it's like we're gamblers, I want to drink, right? You want to drink, I want to drink, as part of the deal. Pardon me, speaking of drinking, I think I'll have one. So drink service will continue. They're going to offer drink service on the casino floor. They're going to ask when the customers are drinking to minimize the amount of time that the masks are removed. It's going to be one of those pull down and sip. My buddy Carol Ann, she makes some great masks. She told me she's trying to make some art and cane masks, maybe with a little hole we can put a straw through. Pretty interesting. All eating, all food on the casino floor is done. And for this time, they're going to stop all eating on casino floor. So the third thing, number 3, physical distancing. A 6-foot distancing policy will be in place, with floor guides serving as a reminder throughout the properties. From time to time, 6-foot distancings can be challenging. So For that reason, mitigating protocols will be implemented, such as plexiglass barriers that we've all been seeing on the internet throughout the casino. So you're going to have a plexiglass barrier there. You'll still be able to exchange your chips underneath, but there's going to be stuff. I saw roulette where there's ones on the side of each other and in the front. So get ready for that experience. It's going to be a little bit different for a little while. And it's going to be tons of signage out there just kind of reminding people to stay safe. And when I read this, it actually kind of made me think about being at the casino and how many times have you high-fived a stranger? I have. I do it all the time, especially, like at craps or at roulette or at blackjack, and all of a sudden you guys all you get excited, and then all of a sudden friendships form. I know people who have formed friendships who have gone on for years. They met at a craps table. I've made some friends, frankly, at the casino, just sitting at the video poker bar that I still we're close friends now. I guess we're going to have to get used to not touching each other. And I'm an Italian guy. I like to wave in my hands and touch it and hang out. I don't know what that's going to be like. I got to keep my hands to myself like in school. And then, of course, you can't touch your face, too. So that's going to be new. Hey, thanks, Twitter. I always appreciate a little update in the middle of the podcast. So, social distancing. Guys, we've been doing social distancing now for 11 or 12 weeks. So I think we're pretty good with that. Number 4. Hand washing and sanitation enhanced. Following the CDC guidelines, we've already increased the amount of routine cleaning and focus on the high-touch surface areas and common areas. We will continue to use proven cleaning products in accordance with the EPA guidelines for coronavirus, bacteria, and infectious pathogens. They're going to do electrostatic sprayers where possible in large areas. Custom-built hand washing stations with soap and water and hand sanitation stations will be visible and available and maintained throughout the property. Signage to tell people where they can go to get that service. All going to be detailed in the sanitation protocols in the guest room. And that's, we're going to get back to the guest room because that actually comes up in this, because I want to stay and I love staying, and I'm worried about I was worried, I guess, until I really started reading this plan. They got a really good plan for that. But before we get to it, this is the part that gets my wife excited, because she has a heightened level of awareness about this. Just full disclosure, I haven't left the house since March 14th, with the exception of doing some real basic errands, like going to the liquor store. I've been doing curb pickup. I've been getting the Peapod and Costco delivery. We're taking this really seriously. We're staying home. Hey, I'm not trying to make a political statement of it. It's just what we're choosing to do. And then as we're opening up into phase 2, I think my family's ready to start kind of coming back out into it. But I think the thing that scares us the most is being inside of these HVAC air conditioning systems or heating systems. Because when we read that this virus kind of aerosols, and goes into these tiny droplets that can go into those systems and then spread throughout a facility. What are they doing? So here's what it says. They've always practiced a high priority on their air quality for their guests and have reviewed their operations of their HVAC systems to identify additional opportunities to enhance their effectiveness. Rigorous measures in accordance with established guidelines to help mitigate the risk in the virus transmission have been taken throughout our properties. So, it's all about the scientific information on how to properly, use these systems, and I'm sure there's all types of new filters and things that are being put into play that are going to help the transmission of those droplets inside of an aerosol system.